Hello and welcome back to another Rocket League replay analysis. In today's video, we'll be discussing the importance of playing as part of a team and the need for you to be willing to step out of your comfort zone when your team requires it. And as always, if you guys are interested in having one of your own replays analyzed, make sure you check out my Discord, which I'll have linked down in the description, as I do offer free coaching through there. But without any further ado, let's jump right on in. The player we'll be looking at today has a tendency to lean a bit more on the defensive side. So with that in mind, we're going to be looking for areas throughout his game that it will be beneficial for him to be a bit more aggressive so that he can put himself in better positions to help out his team. So this one's a bit of an awkward rotation situation, and I kind of looked over this a couple times as I was, prepping. So in plays like this, so we got Scorch already back. He is low, but he's obviously going to be the first one to challenge the ball here. You're going to be the second player coming back, which by all means you should be the second player in rotation to play off of Scorch's initial challenge, therefore allowing Xander to rotate all the way back. So if I'm you in this position, I think already at this point right now, you've already determined that you're going all the way back for that corner boost. Now what I would recommend here, because you should be the second player up to follow on Scorch's challenge in this play, I would make sure that you're focusing on taking these pads on your way back. You don't need to be in the middle of the field right now, because there's really no immediate danger in the middle of the field as long as we're, working our way back. So if we just took these pads, allowed Xander to come behind us, Xander could go get himself that back corner, and be, far in rotation to kind of maintain smooth movement. You would then basically be in Xander's position here, and could play this ball. And therefore, the issue we have here is that you're coming back in from the corner that Xander's currently going to be facing playing the ball into. And it just makes for this awkward, rotation where we could have had smooth movement with you coming in now and Xander being able to follow behind you. So that way, any challenge that happened, if Xander could have just been following, he would have a free ball now. But because you went all the way out to this corner and then turned back up this way, now there's no one available to challenge this ball. And now it's going to allow them to come in for another challenge because Xander couldn't get back to it quickly enough. So you want to maintain this smooth rotation as often as you can. And anytime you find yourself running over this way and then crossing back over the rotation to get back into it, you've probably rotated into a poor spot. And have probably made the general rotation of the team a bit slower because now you just have continued pressure on you guys and you could have had a free clear if you had maintained just smooth rotation on your way back there. This is all fine. This is the one where we can challenge faster.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what's going to happen here? And this is all about where our car's pointing. So I want to look at what happens with your car here. So, you're moving forward. The ball is past debated. This is all about recognizing where the next touch is likely to go. So, with these questions, this is all about identifying who is going to make the next touch. Where are they coming from? And that will generally tell us where the ball is going to go. So if we look here, debated, not going to make the next touch. Neither of our teammates are going to make the next touch. Whiffing is behind this guy. So we can assume that Tobaluga is going to be the one to make the next touch. Okay, cool. Where is Tobaluga coming from? Well, he's coming this way. So what does that tell us? Well, that tells us that even though the ball is currently going this way, more than likely, the ball is going to be heading back in this direction. So what we don't want to do in this situation is focus on where the ball is going now, because where the ball is going now is over here. So if we're playing off of that, we're going to turn this way. But if we're playing off of where the ball is going to go, based off this, we should either just stay facing forward, because then, if he somehow touches it this way, we can turn on that. Or we should, start to shade in this direction because that's the most likely place for it to go. In this case, because of how obvious this is, I'm probably shading over here already. Just because I also see both of my teammates on their way out. So I want to be able to cover this. If this was less obvious as to how exactly he was going to touch the ball, then we'd maintain the more neutral position and play off of the touch accordingly. But yeah, we're gonna get kind of stuck here, playing as if the ball is still moving to the left, and yeah, we're just entirely out of position then, because the ball is not going to the left, it's actually going to the right. And then I think right here, when you turn ball cam off, I don't know what happened in comms here, but you kind of got all three of you staring at each other. Anyone except for Scorch can go for this. It just needs to be decided quickly, because both you and Xander are basically in the same position. It doesn't really matter which one of you goes here, you just need to calm this and someone needs to go. So just work that out in comms, just make sure, like, you don't give this much space. Once you end up here, now you just go. Once this kind of awkward team meeting on your side of the field ends, and, like, you still move back forward, at this point, you're going. So just commit to it at this point, don't just, you know, wait, because then how did Scorch end up going for this? Wait, okay, so Scorch doesn't... Where does Scorch get boost from? Hold on.
I think he spawned into the,
Oh, so he turns back, gets the mid boost on spawn on the second attempt, and then goes. Yeah, so we don't want that to be the solution, that's for sure. Yeah, make sure we, organize that a bit better. Because, yeah, you know, space for the opponent is bad. Luckily, Scorch gets the demo and it's just a free ball for you guys. But yeah, careful of that. Right here, this is another, like, moment where you're so committed to the backline that you just leave your teammate on an island. And I think that's the biggest thing for you, is making sure that even though, like, you're committed to being that, like, anchor for your team, make sure you recognize situations where you need to be in spots to support your teammates. Because if we look here, so Xander's gonna go for this initial challenge. He's gonna land out at midfield with 0 boost. So he's gonna go get that mid, but then anyone in that position, like, if they just pick up that mid boost and they're all the way across the field, their main objective is probably gonna be to rotate back. So with that knowledge, we see our teammate playing the ball here. We have plenty of boost. We don't need this. We don't need to commit all the way over to our own corner to get boost, especially when our teammate's working on playing the ball. We can move forward here and be in a spot to be supportive. We don't have to, like, full send ourselves, like, all the way to, like, midfield or anything, but just start to, like, drive forward here and see what happens. Because if the ball then does come across, we can leap and attack it. Or if it goes, you know, back this way, we can just turn around if we need to. But we don't ever want to just full send ourselves into an area of the field where we're completely useless. Because, yeah, we're not doing anything from over here. And our teammate is then gonna, like, try to hit this ball into the midfield. And you'll notice that Xander did exactly what we thought he was gonna do, which was rotate back. And this is a fantastic pass from your teammate to the other team. Absolutely beautiful. But not exactly the position we want to find ourselves in. And if you had been there, you would have been able to challenge this immediately rather than, you know, just giving up this space again. And you get really lucky on this boost spawn. So the last thing I see here, you know, get this touch, cool. Unfortunate, we tap that into the mid. The last thing I see is whiffing, just full speed going for this. So my assumption is that we probably at least have a 50-50 here. And you are going to completely ignore any possibility that this thing goes back into your half. And you're going to a corner boost that currently isn't even present.
Yes.
So a bit lucky that this spawns. I mean, maybe you have the perfect internal timer so you knew exactly when this was coming up. I highly doubt that, though.
Not for that one, no. That was just completely rotational mistake on my end. Recovery rotational mistake.
So right here, when I land, what I would do in this position is probably... You have two options. You can either just start to take these pads. If I'm you in this position, I'm probably just taking these pads here, because it gives me a wide rotation around where my teammate is. Because then if I took all these pads... Now, if I need to, I can turn into the midfield, and this would give me far more options as opposed to, you know, committing to a corner, and then if that one's not there, now we're, like, committing to this one. It would just keep us closer to the play again, so if you land here, the first thing I'm looking for, especially if the ball's not still in my team's possession, is I'm just taking these pads. Unfortunately, we got bumped. This is more panic. This one's even more panicky, because in this position, we even know that our teammate has a crap ton of boost behind us, because Xander has almost full as he goes back, and instead of just, you know, letting this ball go, like, we get bumped. At the point that we get bumped, there's really no longer a huge threat on the net, because this guy is making contact with the ball at midfield. At the rank that we're playing at, it's pretty unlikely that this guy's gonna get control of this ball and like be able to clean double tap it. And even if he has that ability, your teammate has so much time to react from this initial touch to when it actually reaches the net that it is absolutely not threatening at all. So in this position, I just saw my teammate go behind me with full boost. I'm just letting this ball go. Because there's no reason for me to expend boost and take myself into awkward positions. Because now I'm just floating. You know, my teammate doesn't make the best save. Imagine if instead of floating at this point, we were, you know, still on the ground right here. Well, hey, I'd fancy our chances to be able to get this save. Like, this touch, easy. Doing anything when we're, like, floating down and just landing, now we can't get to the ball fast enough. And now we're just, like, in full jump and hope we guess correctly, because there's no way we can react to the speed of this potential shot. And we guess wrong, because he places the shot freaking perfectly. But yeah, again, that's just making life harder for ourselves by panicking at stuff. And then at this point, I think we're in, like, full-scale panic.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, unfortunate. So this is, again, comms. Once this guy misses, like, this, again, just cannot be banged away. You guys have a 3v2 here. Tobaluga has sent himself flying out of the play. Someone needs to take possession of this ball. Whether it's Scorch or you both have enough boost to do it. But the last thing you can do right now is boom this ball back to them. Because, you know, 5 seconds. If this ball just gets boomed, this entire time is going to be gone. And then all they have to do is just ground it. Which, when no one from your team is in possession of the ball, it is super easy to just hit the ball directly down. The only way we give ourselves, like, a good chance here is if we keep the ball in our own control. If we have control, they now have to get the ball off of us first before they can get it to the ground. And that's all about just maintaining calmness, even in the last couple seconds, because both you and Scorch have a perfect opportunity to do something with this ball, and instead we just, you know, slap it away from ourselves, and again, give all of the play to our opponent. Now, luckily, it does roll up, and we have 2 potential challenges here, so it works. But we definitely don't want to be doing that, because at the higher ranks, he's just gonna, like, drive this up to the ceiling, pinch it into your own half, and it's gonna be on the ground. So as you can see, even if you as a player have a tendency to lean more on the offensive side or the defensive side, you need to be willing to play in such a way that helps out your team to the best of your ability. And if you can do that, you will give your team a much higher chance for success. Of course, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who made it to this point in the video, and I do hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below so you make sure you don't miss any future Rocket League content. Additionally, if you'd like to be a bit more involved in the community we're building here, feel free to join my Discord, which again is linked down in the description. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.